Hello, my friends. Thank you for stopping by again to another episode of the Formula Podcast with me, your host, Trevor Carlson. I'm really excited that you decided to stop by to listen to me share my experiences, experiments, and conversations around travel and designing a fulfilling life, and really whatever form that means for you. Now, this episode is going to be about this time in the Netherlands where I lost my headphones. So, grab some coffee, strap in. This is going to be a really quick episode, kind of about productivity and staying present, and how that really allows me to be more creative and get quite a few things done. So back in, 6-8 months ago, I was in The Hague in the Netherlands, and I was digging through my things, trying to find my earbuds so I could listen to another audio book that I had been binging recently, and I couldn't find them. You know the feeling when you just are looking everywhere and you're like, damn it, where did my headphones go? So I was feeling the same thing, and I'm a big consumer of audiobooks, podcasts, and music whenever I'm usually strolling around a city. But this time, as I had no headphones, I was kind of forced to go without as I hit the sidewalk and headed over to the Central Library in The Hague. Now, a really weird thing happened when I left the house. It was like I could hear like birds chirping for the first time in a while. I could hear the sounds of nature, or cyclists hitting the road on their way to work, and the sounds of a bustling city. I felt very present. I felt like I was actually there instead of my face being in my phone or my mind wandering to other places as I listened to somebody talk about the latest marketing hacks or travel hacks. I could think clearly and uninterrupted without Eminem or The Greatest Showman soundtrack blaring in my ears. And the truth is, I struggle with writer's block sometimes. I try to write as much as I can, but sometimes I just feel like I don't have anything to say. I have so many ideas for what to write, especially while I'm traveling, but I don't know always how to say it. As I walked around through this park the day that I wrote about losing my headphones, I started thinking about what I could write and what I've learned that I would like to share with others. And it was weird. All of a sudden, the writer's block was gone, and I had a lot of clarity on how to write this piece that I'd been tossing around my head for what felt like weeks. Felt like I finally gave myself space to think. As soon as I could, I remember I sat down and I began writing, and I finished pages and pages of work that had sat unfinished for weeks, including the idea for the article, Lose Your Headphones, which the link will be in the show notes, so check it out. So you and I live in this world where we just have constant bombardment of what I've heard called productivity porn, videos and articles glorifying working to the point of killing yourself. Addictive learning. I need to learn more every second. And when I'm not working or learning, I'm not going to keep up. And then it's like the 24-hour consumption of Netflix, Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and on and on and on. And things that tap into your and I's precious time. I used to be completely engrossed in this world of obsessive self-improvement and pushing yourself to your absolute limit every single day. Thinking about how I used to glorify wrecking my health and sacrificing time with friends and family kind of makes me want to punch myself in the face. Frankly, I'm embarrassed. I will never get the time back, and spending all this time just constantly learning, constantly thinking, constantly on, it really becomes counterproductive. Now, I'm sure if I had forced myself to quit earlier every day and in turn was more focused, those extra hours would have produced very little in comparison. Losing my headphones and being brought back to reality was a nice reminder of how easy it is to fall into the workaholic trap. It becomes a way to feel important when you have to say, man, I'd really love to, but I'm working. Or posting on Instagram, #LivetoGrind. Oh, I hate seeing that. It drives me nuts. As a recovering workaholic who's prone to go into a mission every once in a while, let me share a few things I do to increase my focus and create space for my work. I take breaks. I take a walk or play some ping pong, even though I get my ass kicked every single game. 2, I take space to think and process things. That means I sit in silence for 10 minutes or a few minutes just so I can take a breath and breathe for a minute. 3, I step away for a while on non-productive things like reading a fictional book, having a quick conversation with a good friend, or playing some type of game with other people is really a great way to create that space and give yourself a mental break. 4, I recognize when I need to recharge or call it a day when it becomes counterproductive to continue working. Just like your and I's electrical devices, our brain and body needs to spend time recharging. I know you want to be the next GaryVee or whoever the productivity flavor of the week is, but why should you sacrifice being you and the relationships you have and really just like your health in the process? Our hobbies and extracurricular activities define us as much as our hustle. You never know what's going to come out of your hobbies that could affect your business or career. Me, I like swing dancing, hiking, biking, watching campy superhero movies like The Avengers, and reading fantasy books. Shout out Terry Brooks, but please don't watch his show. It was terrible. I enjoy writing stories based on life experiences and hosting dinners with close friends. These hobbies and activities have opened up more doors than I can even count. It's just crazy. And how many of those have to do with my work? So I must confess, I did find my headphones later on. I had ran them through the washing machine, and I'm gonna have to get some new ones. But I've been trying to keep them in my bag as I wander around different cities, as I travel, because I want to continue opening myself up to what's going on around. I want to give myself space to think and relax. And I really feel like I can't do that if I'm constantly listening to music or audio books or whatever it is. So maybe it's time to ask ourselves, what are our other quote unquote headphones, and how can we remove them to give ourselves a break? So I'm going to leave you guys with one last question. So what are our other headphones, or your other headphones, and how can you remove them to give yourself a much needed break? Thanks for tuning in, everyone. That's a wrap for this week's episode. Just a little short, quick one for you. I like to think about how I can give myself more space outside of working and consuming and learning, just because I feel like then the time that I do spend doing those things is much more focused and productive. So I really appreciate you taking the time to tune in. And if you have an extra 3 to 5 minutes, open up your favorite podcast application and leave us a review. Leaving us a review helps people like you find our podcast, and we can keep on growing. So we actually had one of our best download weeks a week ago. Yeah, so pretty exciting. And it's all because people like you take the time to review and share and check out our work. So much appreciated. And I look forward to you stopping by next time.